Hey guys, I haven't posted in a while, but I'm on a solo camping trip for a couple nights, so I figured I'd make a video, show you what it's all about. So I'm here in Inlet, New York at the Moose River Plains Recreation Area. It's got a lot of free primitive campsites right off the road. There's also some off the trails. I'm not doing anything crazy. I brought all my camping gear and all that. So I'll be here for 2 days, and I'll show you some sights while I'm here. So this is the entrance here, and you can see it's a gravel, dirt, dust road. Goes for quite a long ways. Here's a map of the area. I'm over here, and I think I'm gonna end up down in here somewhere, but I want to find a campsite, maybe that one if it's open, that's kind of private, no other neighbors around, but it is Friday, so we'll see. I might have to go a little farther. Probably take about an hour drive to get that far. So this is the road. So we just came in a couple minutes ago. I'm not very far yet. I haven't seen any campsites. I'm really hoping there's some good sites open. Like I said, it's the start to the weekend. It's only 3:30, so hopefully I got a good choice. See some kind of lake, pond down there. It's all wooded all the way. So I'm about 4.5 miles in, and we come to this T here. The main road curves around here, and we have another one that goes forward. So this way goes about 4 miles down. Last time I went down it, I couldn't get that far. If you go this way, there's another entrance about 17 miles. That's the direction I'm headed. I've actually gone the full 31 miles as well. I think that's the whole length of it. That may include a little bit of the highway, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's where I'm at, and we got plenty to go. All right, I've passed a few campsites already. There's somebody camping. They seem to be pretty spaced out. Let's see if we can find an empty one. I'll show you guys what I'm looking for. So here's a campsite here. It looks like somebody's got something there, or somebody left something. I'm not staying at this one anyways because it's a little close to other people. But that's the idea. Pretty simple, kind of sandy gravel, picnic table, and a fire pit. Let's see if we can find a good one. Another trailhead. There's trails all over through here. It's really nice. Down here, let's see if there's any good sights. Well, here's the spot I've settled on. I picked this place because it's kind of up in here and private, and there's no other campsites within a half mile. I think half mile is the one on the one end, the other's a little past there. So let's go up in and see what we got here. So here it is. Nice little site. It's a little bit off the road, so it's private. There's plenty of room for me. It's just one person with a tent and some gear. I tried to pack light, but you'll see I failed at that majorly. So fire pit's not in great shape, but that's fine. I got all my cook stuff with me. Looks like somebody left a little pile of small wood. I also bought a bundle on the way up. I try not to buy wood, but I didn't want to bring any with me, and you never know if there's going to be enough up in here to have a good night fire. Well, I'm all set up here. I'll give you a tour of the campsite. I'll show you some of the gear I brought, and I'd love to hear what I'm missing or what is a waste of time to bring. Put it in the comments. But so we'll start over here at the fire pit. I got my grill grate, which I'm glad I brought because there's nothing on these. I wasn't sure if it would have them. Some sites have little grates that flip down. I always bring a little shovel, my axe, of course, to split wood, hatchet. I brought some bug candles, and I'm really glad I did because the mosquitoes are ridiculous. And you'll see my giant loppers here. I never go camping without those things. If you say I don't need them, you're crazy. Try them out. Take some with you. You can process firewood super fast. These things can cut up to like something like 3 inches or something. That's a nice log to put on the fire. I brought my camp chair, little table, little wireless speaker and lantern. Over here we have our lantern setup and my Coleman stove. Another little wireless speaker. So for lighting, brought a couple of these little flip open LED lanterns. Some little cheap flashlights I picked up, headlamp. I'm really glad I brought plenty of bug stuff. This stuff works great. I live by it. It's better than any of the off brand or anything like that. But I do like the off wipes because you can get your face and neck really good without getting it all in your mouth and all that crap. Let's see, some citronella, hammered upon steaks, a couple knives, just one pocket knife, one big knife, and my machete. It's a small machete. I brought the Bear Grylls one, not because I expect to need any kind of survival kit knife or anything like that, but just because it's cool, and why not bring it. Here's my water for washing for the next couple days, cooking, cleaning, stuff like that. That's just out of the hose. I did bring a couple gallons as well for drinking and whatnot. So cooking, I plan on making bacon and eggs, so I brought a little pan. I brought a couple deeper ones to boil water in if I want to do dishes. The tubs for doing dishes. Got some soap in that. One thing I always bring is a first aid kit. I know this is way overkill for one person, but it's actually for the family when we camp, and why make another one? It's small enough to just throw in the box for camping. So it's got just about everything in here. We don't need to go through that. And I brought a bunch of field guides and books just because I really like finding stuff and identifying it, looking through that. I think this was a gift. I'll probably flip through that while I'm here. But I'm a avid bird watcher, so I'm going to be doing a little of that in the next couple days. Some more cook kit here, just some simple implements, nothing special, and my Coleman stove, which I bought at a garage sale for $10 last year, and it works great. And then, of course, in the back of the car, I got the cooler, all my cold food, drinks, and all that. Couple extra gallons of water. So you can see I got soda, hot dogs, sausage, stuff like that. Easy stuff for the fire. This box is just all the extras, you know, packaging, plastic bags, extra batteries, that kind of thing. And my dry food. So that stuff's gonna have to stay in the car because we do have bears around here. I don't know how often they come into the sites up in here because I've never camped in here, but just in case, it'll stay in the car. There's no bear box, and we'll throw a blanket over it for the night just so they can't see it in there, because I have heard if they see the cooler inside, they'll try to break in. But yeah, that's it. There's also an outhouse up here. I won't thrill you with the tour of that, but it's surprisingly not dirty, and it doesn't seem to have been used much, if any. It doesn't smell or anything, so I'm really happy about that. And our fire pit, which is really cool actually, but in disrepair. Whoever was here left a bunch of birch bark, so that's convenient. A bunch of sticks, and I brought a pile of wood that I bought on the way up. We got the tent here. So this is a brand new tent. Picked it up on clearance at Big Lots. I think it was like marked for like $39, and when they rang it up, it only came to like 34 or 35 bucks. So I was pretty happy with that. My daughter used one just like it last week, and in the rain she had just a slight amount of leakage, so I brought a tarp, because we are going to get dumped on tomorrow morning and throughout the day, it sounds like, by the weather. So we'll just flip that tarp down, tie it down, we'll be good to go. So for the tent, I brought a little stool because I'm an old man and it's easier to change my shoes that way. Pretty simple, a cot, a sleeping bag. I actually forgot a pillow, but luckily I got a little Mexican blanket I rolled up, so that'll be fine. And you know, some lanterns and stuff for inside the tent. But yeah, that's it. So here's to the next 2 nights up here, and really hoping it stays quiet. Like I said before, it seems like there's not really many people camping up in here. The nearest site is at least a half mile in either direction. I've only seen 2 cars go by in the last like 2 hours or so since I got here. But yeah, I'm pretty much up in the woods, and we're gonna have a great time. And that's why I bring those every time I go camping. Makes it a lot faster and easier. Your hands don't get disgustingly dirty. Everything's a little wet out here. Well, here we are. It's night. Getting a late start to dinner, so I just started cooking. It's about 8:30 at night now, so it'll be pretty dark pretty soon. I had hoped to have dinner out of the way before dark, but you know, things happen. But anyways, making up some sausage here on the fire, and that's gonna be delicious. We'll probably see you in the morning. Well, dinner's served. Calling all bears. Smells good around here, so hopefully that doesn't attract any unwanted visitors tonight. But I'm gonna enjoy some nice Polish sausage. So there is a toad chasing a moth up my tent, which is pretty cool. Anyways, there he is. He was just halfway up and fell down, and the moth's gone now. I don't know where it went. Well, I made it through night 1. It's about 7:30 in the morning. I just woke up. I was up kind of late at the fire. But no problems last night. I don't think I had any visitors. Nothing seems disturbed, so probably not any bears. Let's see how today goes. I'm getting ready for breakfast, so I'm gonna make up some bacon, some eggs, and maybe some toast. We'll see what we want to do today. I think I'm gonna go down and find a spot and do some bird watching. All right, breakfast of champions here. So we got our 4 major food groups with meat, grease, fat, and milk. Unfortunately, I forgot the eggs, so I won't be having any eggs with my bacon this morning. So I'm making up the full pack, eat that up. Be a good start to the day. Well, it's been raining since shortly after I left this morning. So I didn't get to really do any hiking or bird watching today. So while I was out, I stopped down into town and checked my messages, let my wife know where I'm at and what site and all that. So just for safety, you know, the typical. But anyways, kind of cruising along here. I got another 4.5 miles to my campsite. So I checked today, my campsite's 11.5 miles in this road. And since I was down in town and I'm a little bit lazy and it's so rainy, I grabbed a couple slices of pizza for lunch because it's gonna be pretty wet for dinner, and although I know I'll get a fire started, it's gonna be a little tough. But yeah, we'll see how the rest of the night goes. Rain's supposed to taper off in a few hours, so hopefully, you know, right now it's almost 2:30. Hopefully by 6 o'clock it's supposed to end, and we'll see how the rest of the night goes. But yeah, so this is the road. Can get pretty bumpy. There's a lot of big rocks sticking out in places, so you gotta watch. I'm actually going a little faster than I should, but yeah, we'll survive. And I'm going this way. This road's pretty straight and flat, but it's a little muddy today, so I'm gonna take it easy. A lot of potholes as well. It's Helldiver Pond. So we've had moose sightings along there before. I've never seen one, but we've heard of them, and there's recently an online post that someone saw one. One's gonna be fun. There we go. It looks like some bikers up ahead, so I'm gonna slow down a little bit and not scare the crap out of them. Everything's pretty wet, but other than that, everything should be good to go. Looks like everything's still here, which I was a little worried to leave it out here because there are other people around, but most campers are good people. Yeah, so I did look in the tent. I got just a little bit of water spot around the door, very minor. Wipe it up with a towel, but it's because this is hanging, so we're gonna tie that out for tonight and see if that does a little better. Other than that, I'm pretty much covered everywhere except a little there on the corner. Maybe I can straighten that out a little bit too. Well, it's 3:30. It's pretty dark already. I got another like 2 or 3 hours of this crap, so I had to go to the poncho, which I hate, but gotta stay dry, right? I'm not even gonna bother with the fire for a couple hours because I don't want to just keep feeding it wood. Every time I touch something, I'm covered in sand and dirt, so comes with the camping, I guess. Well, after about an hour of work, finally got a fire going here. This rain has been relentless. I've been splitting wood like crazy. I did get some free split firewood, so that makes my life a little easier for tonight. But I don't think I'll be cooking on the fire at all tonight. I think it's going to be too rainy. It was supposed to taper off in the last hour, and it's still going pretty steady. So I don't know. might be a wash for tonight, but hopefully tomorrow morning's gonna be fine. It's supposed to be a beautiful sunny day. It's got like, I think it said like 5 or 10% chance of rain, so maybe I'll get some bird watching and hiking in tomorrow. I'm gonna take a walk down here to Helldiver Pond. It's only 2/10 of a mile, but I don't want to go on any long walks and get caught in the rain. It finally gave us a break, so it's about 6:45 now. I figure I can come down for a few minutes, check out the water, see if anything's around, watch for birds. Also, the moose has been sighted down here a bunch, so hopefully we'll get lucky, but it's unlikely. It's kind of a cool sight, just moss as far as you can see. All right, we're coming up to the pond up ahead, so I'm just trying to be a little more quiet. It's a little hard with this trail, it's all rocks. So this just goes to a boat launch out on this pond. And the moose has been known to be out here grazing. Take a look around with the binoculars, see if I see anything. So you probably can't see it, but there is something out there. It's way on the other side. If you see a little white dot, that is a loon. He's been hanging out there for a while, but there's also, I think it may be a beaver swimming across the pond. But definitely a mammal, definitely big-headed and slow swimming. He's gone under a few times, so it's got to be either a beaver or an otter or a mink, something like that. But just by the big blockiness of its head, I think it's probably a beaver. I don't see him now, I can only see the loon. But definitely a beautiful spot. Well, that was cool. I saw 3 different beavers. I saw a common loon, and I saw a female mallard. Flew right past my head, actually. I think she wasn't expecting to see me there and was going to land on the dock, maybe. But yeah, it was worth the 3-minute walk. There's a wood thrush right here. Pretty cool to see him close up. Usually they don't get too close. So here's another trail, another short one. Let's take a walk down, see what's at this pond. All right, we're coming up to the pond here. This is Ice House Pond. It's less than a half-mile walk. Let's see if we see anything in this one. Well, I was gonna say there's nothing here, but obviously there's a bullfrog if you heard that. I didn't even notice on the way through there's a little campsite here. It's kind of cool. So you can bring your kayaks down here and go on there and camp out here. Gotta get out of here. There are so many mosquitoes right now. Wow, this is a big tree. It's gotta be 6 feet across at the base. Well, I was just flying along and a small bear just ran right in front of me. Not close enough to hit, but it surprised me, that's for sure. He went bolting right across in the woods. I stopped, I couldn't see anything. But, well, I know they're here. I'm about a mile from my campsite, maybe a little more, so keep my eye out tonight, especially if I'm cooking. Well, I'm back at camp for the night. Got the fire going. Wind picked up a little bit and it's cooling down, but that's a little bit good because the wind's blowing the water off the trees, so it's not dripping anymore like it has been all day. The smoke's getting me a little bit, but we're gonna struggle through. So I figured it's a good time to talk about the reason I'm out here and the reason I'm doing this video. So my whole life I've been camping, I've been out fishing. I consider myself somewhat of an outdoorsman type person. I'm not a survivalist or anything like that. You can tell by all my camp gear that I showed earlier in the video. But I do like to camp. I've been doing it my whole life. But what I realized is I've been doing it my whole life at my family campground or a public campground where I'm renting a campsite, something like that. And about 2 years ago, I was out here checking the place out because I hadn't really been back in here too much. And I realized I hadn't seen anyone in about a mile or two. And that was kind of cool. It was like, wow, there's nobody else around. I got the whole place to myself. And I pulled into a trailhead. I believe it was Lost Pond Trail. I think it's about 1.5 miles or 2 miles long. But this area is pretty vast, and it doesn't really back up to other, trails too much or roads or anything like that. But so what I realized is I was 1 mile or 2 from any other person at that time. And then I jumped on the trail and went another 1.5 miles or 2 miles in. And I was probably at least 2 or 3 miles from the nearest person. And if you think about your life every day, probably 99% of us are never more than a 1/4 mile from another person. If you live in a city, it's even less. If you live in the suburbs, it's even less. If you live in the country, you're probably still within a 1/4 to 1/2 mile from another house or, another person. Even if you go out way out in the woods, you're walking public trails, stuff like that, you don't see anybody for a while, chances are there's someone up ahead of you a 1/2 mile or back behind you a 1/4 mile, or you're going to pass people that are coming the other way, and you don't realize you're actually not alone. You're not that far from anybody else. So I thought that was a huge thrill, and I decided I need to come out here and camp by myself. So I picked a site that's way back in. I went about 11.5 miles from the entrance on the one end. It's another 20 or so miles to the opposite end. So I'm way out in the middle. There's not a lot of people camping. There was someone about 1 mile up the road that way yesterday. They're gone. So the closest person that way is about 1 mile. If you go up this way, there was someone camping about 0.6 of a mile. but between them and I, there's nothing, okay? No one can hear you scream out here, okay? So you're on your own, completely alone. Um, and wow, this smoke's killing me. But, you know, the wind keeps changing, so we're just going to struggle through here. Um, but think about that and get out there and try it, you know. Take all your camping gear, you know. Who cares? You know, I'm not a survivalist. I didn't come out here with my little fire steel or my magnifier trying to start a fire. And by the way, all you survival guys that are really hung up on fire starting, they make this really cool thing. It fits right in your pocket, makes it super easy. It's called a Bic lighter. Okay, they light like 2,000 times. There's no reason you shouldn't bring one with you. Bring 2 of them with you, then you know you'll never need a fire steel or anything like that. That said, you know, fire starting can be a struggle, especially today since it's been raining all day. You know, I used a fire starter. It's not a big deal. Everything out here is sopping wet, but my fire started. You can see it right here. It's actually behind me a little bit, not next to me. But yeah, it's been a great time out here by myself. I hear a car cruising up the road right now. Let's see. There they go. So they can barely see me up here. The light's on, so I'm sure they noticed me. But I'm pretty much alone. Once in a while, a car will go by. During the day, you know, a couple cars every hour or so. In the evening, there seems to be a rush of people coming or going. But once it's dark, it pretty much slows down. But yeah, this has been a thrilling experience. I love it. I'm going to do it again. And I just want to thank a couple other YouTubers that I watch. They have no idea who I am, and I don't expect to hear from them. But Corporal's Corner, you know, you always say, get out in the field, have fun, and that's really inspired me. You're a little more hardcore with me than me with all the, you know, survival skills and all that. But I watch it. I love it. Keep building crazy shelters. You've gotten a little away from that, but I love it. And then also Steve Wallace. If you haven't checked out Steve Wallace, check him out. It's Camping with Steve. He does stealth camping. He does car camping. He's got a bus, all kinds of stuff like that. And he's all about the gear, you know. He brings a little heater with him. He brings a thermocell for the mosquitoes. He's got torches, all kinds of stuff like that. But you know what? He's still getting out here and still doing more than 99% of you are. So just think about that and make a plan. You know, this month, it's August right now. Well, it's the end of July, but we're coming up on August here in a couple days. You have plenty of time before school starts. Get out there, go camping, take the kids, go by yourself. I recommend going by yourself at least once in your life. This is my first time ever camping by myself. Okay, and you know, I'm completely comfortable. It's fine. I've camped up here before with other people, not in this area, but in campgrounds. So I'm used to the bears. I'm used to all the outdoors. Not too worried generally. I will say last night I scared the crap out of myself. I'm not ashamed to admit it. So in the middle of the night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, a light woke me up. Okay, and the whole side of my tent was lit up, and I woke up and kind of was like, what's going on? Who's in my campsite? My first thought was, oh, maybe I left the lantern on, and I looked and the lantern wasn't on. And as I moved, the light moved with me, and I started panicking and looking for my flashlight. I thought for sure someone was out here, and you know, my axe is sitting out here. They're just some serial killers coming to kill me, right? And as I reached for the flashlight, my phone flopped off of my cot and lit up the tent some more, and that's when I realized the movement was me moving I must have rolled over, touched my phone or something. It lit up the tent, and there I was, scared to death that someone was outside my campground when I'm a mile away from anybody else. But, you know, that kind of thing happens, and it was actually kind of funny. I went right back to sleep afterwards, and got up this morning. It was a beautiful day, no problems at all. So we're going to do the same thing tonight, hopefully without the flashlight incident or the phone screen incident. But I'm having a great time. Thank you for watching this video. We'll wrap it up in the morning, pack it up, get out of here, and if it's nice enough, I hope to still find a little bird watching spot. Still want to see that moose that I've never seen up here. I saw a moose in Vermont one time, a mother and a calf, and that was cool. I want to see the one with the antlers. So wish me luck, and I'll see you in the morning. Well, I'm all packed up. Took about 2 hours this morning, so looks like a nice day. I'm gonna go do some bird watching, but we're all set here. Fire's still smoking, so I'm gonna use my water jug to put that out, and then we're off for the day. Let's see what we can see. All right, so I am right in here somewhere. I think probably that site, but I'm not sure. I'm a little past Lost Ponds there. But we're gonna go up and take a turn down in here. We're gonna go to Beaver Lake Trail. So it's about 2.1 miles to the lake, which is not too far for me. So I think that's good. I know it's not a long one, so take a couple hours and do that. See if we can find some birds or anything else interesting, and we'll head out. Well, here's the start of the trail. It's not marked here because it was marked out at the road, but I just passed a couple. They said they didn't really see any animals down here, but it's beautiful. They warned me it was pretty buggy, so I sprayed down pretty good anyways. But this is kind of cool. It's a huge culvert. I don't think I've ever seen one this big. But yeah, this trail I guess follows an old road down in, although it looks like it's just a path at this point. It's like raspberries. And there is the trail marker. So 2.1 from here. Looks like a nice walk now that we're actually to the trail. It was a little overgrown back there, so I'm glad this has opened up a little bit. Here's another absolutely huge tree, some kind of pine tree. This big, close to 6 feet across probably, maybe more. Well, this is the first downhill section, and I think we're coming down to the lake here pretty soon. I've been hearing a loon, but the trail's been pretty flat and easy up to this point. Well, we're coming down to the lake now. So I'm just gonna walk quietly, see if there's anything down at the water. Looks like a nice little campsite here. Probably not used too often, because who wants to pack everything 2 miles? Nice view of the lake here. I think I'll pull out the binoculars and take a look around here. Well, you can see why this is called Beaver Lake. All these trees have been eaten off, chewed off by the beavers. That's pretty cool. There's some huge beaver lodges across the lake. I don't think I'll be able to get them with my camera, but I'll see if I can show you. I think you can see it from here. Straight across, right in the middle, you'll see a big light-colored mound. So that is the biggest beaver lodge I've ever seen. It's huge. I have no idea the size, but those pine trees behind it are pretty big and wide, and kind of gives you an idea of the scale we're looking at. I'm gonna head back up the trail now. I saw a couple loons down here, but that was it. I see lots of evidence of beavers, but they're not out and about, at least not over where I can see them over here. But definitely beautiful down here. Check it out sometimes. I didn't really see many birds at all down in here, but on the trail I could hear a lot. So I'll keep my eye out as we're heading up. So I just have to show you this giant king cobra sticking out of the stump. But it's actually a really cool tree. So this trail's been really good. I've seen a lot of birds on the way back. I identified a couple new ones for me. One was a winter wren, which I guess we have around my house, but I've never seen one. Trying to think what the other one was. It was a warbler. But Merlin Bird ID is really good. They recently added a sound ID, so if it's quiet, you can just stop and listen. It'll tell you what the bird is, and then you can sit and watch for it. So I've actually gotten at least 2 or 3 new birds since I've been in here. Red-eyed vireo as well. And I've seen a couple that I've seen before, but it's cool. Well, that was a great trail. It's beautiful up here. I've been hearing ospreys going nuts for the last like 10 minutes. But that's the end of the trail. Car's still there, so that's a good thing. So we're gonna head out, get ready to head home. I gotta get up for work in about 13 hours, and I got a 4-hour drive ahead of me. I think I'll be out of here. I think it's probably 7-8 miles or so to the exit, but that's gonna wrap up the weekend, and we'll see you soon. Hey guys, so I just signed out. I'm all done here. Thanks for watching. I really enjoyed the weekend. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've watched this far, like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you soon.